You feel it even before you wake, that hollow ache in your chest, as though someone has pried your heart out of your body. The world around you feels muted, like walking through a quiet fog of pain. Every familiar place, every memory is suddenly tinted with what you've lost. It's as if a part of you is gone, leaving you strangely empty and frightened. But what if this darkness is not the end of your story, but the first step of a journey home to yourself? Heartbreak is a storm that every soul will face at some point, a truly universal. It cuts deep, shaking us to our core. We may feel our world has shattered. The life we dreamed of, the love we nurtured, the plans we made with someone else, suddenly drift away like leaves on a cold. In that moment, it's natural to feel lost and alone. When a cherished relationship ends, we lose more than a partner. We lose a piece of our identity. We mourn not just the person, but all the hopes and future we invested in us. Physically, heartbreak hijacks the body's defenses. Stress floods our system. Our brain releases adrenaline and cortisol, igniting a fight-or-flight reaction that can literally make us lose appetite, or we feel agitation, emptiness, or even a physical ache in our chest. Psychologically, the pain comes from disrupted attachments. And shattered, we may blame ourselves or wonder, what did I do wrong? We rumble through unanswerable questions, trapped in a loop of if only. Yet heartbreak also has a humbling, almost sacred. It reminds us of our vulnerability. As Jung noted, heartbreak cuts us to the bone, humbling us before the great forces of the universe. In those raw moments, we are face to face with the essential fact of being human. We are capable of great love, and with love we carry the risk of loss. Though it hurts, this shared human experience binds us together, across time and space. In the silence after a breakup, we stand naked before our own heart, grieving its loss, but also honoring the love that opened it. Imagine a wise figure sitting quietly at sunset, surrounded by a field of flowers, accepting the changing sky. This is the spirit of Stoic wisdom. Stoic philosophers teach us that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When heartbreak feels overwhelming, Stoicism gently whispers, focus on what is within your power. You may not be able to change the past or force love to remain, but you can choose to meet this pain with courage, honesty, and self-care. Stoics encourage a balanced detachment from the things we doesn't mean not loving fully. In fact, Marcus Aurelius advises us to do exactly that. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Love fiercely and completely, even if it is temporary. The Stoics say that when loss comes, it hurts not because the love was in vain, but because we engage with life fully. This perspective is a gentle grace. It allows us to treasure our past and then slowly release it in the midst of sorrow. Stoicism reminds us to sift through our judgments. Often, it isn't the breakup itself that destroys us, but the story we tell ourselves about it. As a Stoic maxim goes, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. If we see the end of a relationship as the end of our world, we break ourselves further. But if we reframe it, perhaps as a painful lesson, or a door closing so another can open, we find that our suffering can soften. We gain freedom by seeing the breakup as an event in life, not the definition of life. Seneca, another Stoic sage, gave compassionate advice for grief. He said it is natural to grieve, to let your tears flow, but to also remember they will one day. We honor our pain with tears and sighs, but we also honor our mind's capacity to heal. Reason becomes the steady friend of emotion. We cry, yet we also begin to ask, how can this sorrow deepen my strength? What can I learn? In this way, Stoicism isn't about being cold and unfeeling. It's about holding your heart and mind in balance, so that one supports the other by practicing Stoic acceptance, daily remembering that all things are impermanent. We start to let go. We remind ourselves that life's story has many chapters. This chapter of heartbreak will close, and another will begin. Each morning, take a breath and recite a Stoic thought. The pain you feel now is a storm, and like all storms, it too shall pass. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your kindness to yourself, your openness to. In doing so, you begin to find your center again. When a relationship ends, it can feel like an invisible tether still pulls at your heart. Jungian psychology offers insight. Often the one we miss is a mirror for our own unconscious depths. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In Heartbreak, the unconscious comes alive. We notice our shadows, those hidden fears, insecurities, and desires we project onto the person we loved. Ask yourself, which qualities did you love in them? Confidence, creativity, compassion. Jung suggests we project parts of ourselves when we fall in love. Suddenly, your partner seemed to have what you admire or what you wish you had, and through them, you got to experience that part of you indirectly. When the relationship ends, it feels like losing something inside you. You might find yourself thinking, "I've lost that part of me," just as a Jungian guide explains. We tend to project some of our qualities onto our partners. So when the relationship is over, we feel like we lost a part of ourselves. It's not only your partner who is gone, it's a certain image of yourself, once reflected back by their presence. This is where shadow work comes in. Your shadow is everything you have pushed aside in yourself, fears, wounds, and also unacknowledged strengths. The end of a romance often awakens these shadows. Perhaps old wounds resurface, the fear of being unloved, abandonment, or feeling not good enough. Maybe anxieties you buried about being alone or unworthy now haunt you. Jung believed that the key to personal wholeness is to shine light into these dark places. When you hold that light, you diminish their power, so engage in gentle self-exploration. Write down your feelings and recurring thoughts. They are clues. If you feel angry, sad, or empty, ask, where have I felt this way before, even in childhood? What do I blame my ex for that I can change in myself? Remember the Jungian truth. Most of our suffering is self-created through projection. By making these feelings conscious, you take back control. Imagine for a moment a lost traveler carrying a heavy, invisible backpack, your shadow. Heartbreak causes the straps to tighten. Discomfort forces you to examine the load. You start unpacking memories and fears piece by piece. Jung's insight is that you did not walk into heartbreak unprepared. Your psyche quietly prepared a map for you. In those lonely nights, listen for inner wisdom. In therapy or journaling, you may discover that the pain you felt also revealed an old wound begging for care, perhaps from childhood or previous loss. As one Jungian idea goes, when someone leaves you, they didn't break your heart, they exposed your wound. Though painful, this exposure is an invitation to heal that deeper wound in this chapter of healing. Let curiosity and kindness guide you. Keep asking gentle questions. What can this teach me about who I am? With Jung's shadow work, the pain of attachment transforms into the work of self-attachment, learning to hold and comfort every part of yourself. Healing isn't about erasing pain, it's about integrating it into your life story so you can walk forward with it as a teacher. Think of heartbreak like a wildfire, devastating at first, yet clearing the old and making way for new growth. As you process the hurt, you may discover hidden resilience or empathy you never knew you had. Psychologists even call this post-traumatic growth. Finding positive change through struggling might emerge with a stronger sense of who you truly are, kinder to yourself and others, with a clearer view of your life's values to nurture this growth. Give yourself permission to feel fully. Cry if you need to, scream into a pillow, laugh at a sad joke, paint a dark canvas or scribble poetry in your journal. Let the emotions move through you like waves, not as enemies but as signposts. In writing or art, you integrate those feelings by transforming them. Each word or brush stroke is a brick in your new foundation. Practical steps can help structure this inner work. Consider these gentle practices journaling prompts. Ask, what am I learning about myself right now? How did this relationship help me see my needs more clearly? Writing brings clarity, creative expression. Draw, paint, or make music about your feelings. Creativity converts pain into beauty and insight, mindful reflection. Take quiet moments, perhaps in nature, and breathe. Notice how the pain sits in your body. Imagine sending it warmth and forgiveness. This grounds you back in the present self-compassion rituals. Place a hand over your heart and offer kind words to yourself, as you would to a dear friend. Repeat slowly, I am hurting, but I will be okay. I am learning and growing. These are not to forget the pain, but to acknowledge it and then let it change you for the better. For example, you may realize you value honesty more strongly than you thought, or discover that your capacity to give love is greater than your fears. Research on trauma shows that people who seek meaning in their pain often develop deeper self-awareness and strength. Each time you consciously sit with the hurt rather than running away, you become a tiny bit more whole. Remember the metaphor of the heart as a muscle. It grows stronger with use. When you tend your wounds with acceptance, you are bit by bit strengthening that heart muscle. The person you become after heartbreak, though different, is forged from both your pain and your wisdom. You will meet others now with more empathy and meet life with more courage. As the sun rises after the storm, so too will you find a new beginning. The final chapter of this journey is about gently stepping into the world with fresh eyes and a kinder heart. The Stoics remind us again that while we cannot change the past, we have control over our attitude. Decide moment by moment to treat yourself with love and respect. Affirm, I gave everything I had. Now I choose to love myself. Cultivating self-love after loss can feel strange at first, but it is essential. Start with small acts. Nourish your body well, get rest, speak gently to yourself. Recall Marcus Aurelius' wisdom. Your greatest power is in your mind. You can train your mind to see worth and goodness in yourself again. Make a mental list of qualities you cherish in yourself, perhaps kindness, creativity, perseverance, and revisit it daily. Celebrate every tiny victory, the first peaceful night's sleep, the laugh after weeks of tears, the day you look in the mirror and smile. Find peace in solitude. Being alone now is not the same as loneliness. In quiet moments, watch how you breathe. Imagine your heart healing itself one beat at a time. Be patient. Healing is not a race. Like a tree growing slowly after a fire, you will sprout new leaves of happiness in time, and when thoughts of what if arise, gently guide yourself back to the present. What you lost was precious, but it also taught you immeasurable lessons about what you need, what you want, and the strength you have inside. Embrace those lessons. Use them to draw yourself closer to who you truly are. As one wise saying goes, we are often led to the right place in life by the winding paths of our broken hearts. Life will unfold new chapters for you. For now, keep your gaze on the horizon. Love again. The world is full of possibility. You will remember this time not only for the pain, but for the courage and resilience it awakened in you. The heart that was broken is not a worthless heart. It is one that has become more open, more alive, and more ready for the beauty ahead. In the quiet that follows, know this: you are not alone, and this pain will pass. Even now, as you listen to these words, your heart is slowly learning a new rhythm. Every beat carries you forward, carrying with it the soft echo of strength and renewal. The night is darkest just before dawn. Tomorrow holds gentle light for you. Carry with you the memory of how far you've come. Trust that even broken, your heart is whole enough to love and to be loved again. You survived the winter of your soul, and spring is on its way. Breathe. There is hope in every new morning, and you have the strength to meet it with an open heart.